Do we have the mic?
Yes.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everybody. If I can have you all stand to our Rotary.
Self.
Service above self. Back was a little late getting on. It's helpful. We can turn to the flag and say our pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, with liberty and justice for all.
Jim today, who would like to offer our blessing? Mark, want to give us a blessing?
Trying to be Jim's. Let's bow our heads in welcome. Ask the Lord bless this food for our use and us for thy service.
Amen. And I believe Paul is going to lead us in some song today.
Yes, I've been asked to do the song in honor of John Burtis's appreciation of the Bob Dylan film, Blowing in the Wind. Page 5.
6.
Page 6. How many roads must a man walk down before before
Like a great time, and I really appreciate the invitation.
Before the answer.
Nice choice. What do you want to?
So now.
Thank you. Couple of announcements from the club as a whole. We are not going to have lunch next Tuesday. We have chosen to do a club social. And we're going to be hosting a pizza party next Tuesday evening, starting at 5:30 from about 5:30 to about 7:30 over at the Cape Charles Parish Hall. If you don't know where that is, the St. Charles Catholic Church Parish Hall in town. Joan has been organizing this. I don't know, Joan, if you want to talk a little bit about it or you want me to keep on going. Go ahead. Okay.
From 5:30 to 7:30, you can hear me.
5:30 to 7:30.
St. Charles Parish Hall, which is 500 Caswell Avenue. Caswell, correct. We'll have pizza, about 10 to 12 pizzas. Members will be free. Guests will be $15 a person. We will have pizza. We will have a dessert. We will have salads. We will have beer, wine, water, and soda.
What? No gin?
No gin. Sorry.
Your margarita.
No margaritas. Okay, sorry. And we'll have a short program. I believe John Posey. I talked to him and he said that he could make it that evening as opposed to during the day. Yes, I think I asked you to do that just to make sure. Anyway, so the only push is I need to know how many people will be coming by this Friday at 5 o'clock because we're ordering the pizzas from Froggy's. They told me I have to place the order on Saturday because they're closed Sundays and Mondays. And to order 10 or 15 pizzas, I need to give them a day's advance notice. So if you let me know who's coming and how many, and as I said, members are free, guests are 15. That's it. Any questions?
How are we gonna let you know?
Friday, 5 o'clock.
Email.
You can email me, call me, or you can text me on my cell phone. And an email went out, Paul Strong sent it out this morning, and this afternoon we'll send out a flyer. I'm having email problems with my laptop.
Or Stanley, you can just raise your hand now and let us know if you're coming.
I'll be there.
Okay, go ahead, count Joan, here we go. Who definitely can tell me you can commit now that you can come? So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So far I think we're usually up to 15.
Hey,
So,
think about it.
okay,
If you change your mind or get back to me.
yes, thank you very much for that. And we apologize for the late notice on it, but our goal as a board is every month that we have 5 Tuesdays, we want to have a social on that Tuesday, that 5th Tuesday of the month. So we got a little behind and we were looking at our calendar and realizing that's happening here in April. We got 5 Tuesdays this month. So we apologize for the late notice, but we feel it'll be a fun event. I will have to say, it brought back fond memories of when we used to do over at Rich Place, when we would steam some clams and have a great little fest over at his house. And man, I'd love to get back to doing something like that again, maybe next year. Betty, under your leadership. Karen has let me know that we have now set the date for the next Rotary Road cleanup of 184. And I think it was June 12th? 21st. The number's backwards. June 21st. So go ahead and pencil that on your calendars. If you know you would like to help us on that day. We'll do a couple more reminders along the way, but we want to start getting on everybody's calendar at this point in time. And of course, Joan has done a final call for vendors for the Art in the Park festivities that are occurring it's a Saturday, May 17th. Did I get it right? Thank you. May 17th. I've actually also heard from several of you who are able to volunteer some time for the Chamber Fest, because we're going to be hosting a table in conjunction with the other 2 clubs on the shore at Chamber Fest, which is that same Saturday. Again, the Art in the Park is during the day. The Chamber Fest, yes, it starts around 3 o'clock, but it goes till the evening, so it's not quite in conflict. So hopefully that you can help in one way or another on that day. Again, just let me know and I will get that out to all the appropriate people so they know who to expect to help with volunteering that day. That's it of my announcements at this point in time. So I'm going to open the floor to other announcements because I think Bill Payne really wants to tell you about.
Get your hot dogs and peanuts and beer right here. Of course, we're talking about time for baseball. And that's on the 14th of May, a night game. We've already have 12 people signed up. I've invited the Escort and Onancock clubs to join. If we get enough people, I'm going to try to get a bus. And then we can all go over bus like we used to. So, you know, we can have a little libation on the bus. When you're ready for the game. So sign up here and you.
What's the deadline?
There's no deadline. Right up until the moment. You can get it on this. Actually, maybe about May 7th or so, because I'll go over and buy the tickets. So we need a little lead time. But the pressure will build to me.
Pressure.
No, you're going, I look like a baseball fan.
I am a baseball, but I don't know if I'm going yet.
Okay, you've got time to think it over, right? I just want everybody to know.
I think you have 6:30 time. Is that the time for a meeting or is that the time of the meeting?
Time of day, we'll probably leave about 4:30. Okay. More details as we approach.
So he didn't tell you this, but all the clubs that are in the Tidewater area will probably be there, be represented there. It's not just us, you know, there'll be several, hopefully a couple of hundred.
And we'll be wearing our polio.
It's for polio plus, so, half, I think half the price of their ticket, $24, goes to Polio Plus.
Very good.
Thank you.
Are there other club announcements?
Yes, I have enough. So I sent out, the invoices for this quarter, I think yesterday, and, it might have been the day before. And, it must have been pretty demanding because John Burtis thought I was dinging him for a late payment. So, I apologize. I apologize if it came across a little strong, but it is important that, you get your payment to me by around May 15th, 16th, which was, I put it as a deadline. The reason is, around the 17th, I think, or 18th, children and I are going to Europe for 11 days. And then about a week after we get back, I'm scheduled for back surgery. June 3rd. And, I might be out for a few weeks, so in order for me to kind of get the treasurer's work done for the quarter, if you could get your payments done by May 15th or 16th, that would be great. Thanks for the year.
One real quick. We're good on the, barrier island. River. People count right now, we're good for the 2 shifts we're gonna do. And, I appreciate everybody that did sign up. For those who didn't and are going to be visiting there, it's a fun time. I take a look at what's going on there. Thank you, everyone, for signing up.
Remind us of the date.
I didn't bring it on.
Memorial weekend,
The 24th,
Saturday
Saturday.
of Memorial Weekend. Bill.
So this weekend is the Big Charles Main Street Love Run. It's a walk, run, children's, wheelchair, 5K, 10K, splash stations. It starts at the love sign, finishes at Strawberry Street Plaza. Immediately following that is the dedication to Strawberry Street Plaza and the umbrellas and benches, and there's gonna be beverages and finger food as part of that celebration, free. So I think Susan Berger probably needs some volunteers to help out on the race. So it's a service project, people, so you can get a hold of her and say you can guide runners, whatever, so just want to put that out.
Betty.
Just want to give everybody an update on, Timothy Elementary School. And I'm thankful Bill Murphy and Bill Payne have given us feedback because there's new administration over there. And when I go over to talk to them, they were emphasizing how we need to say thank you to the teachers, and they came back close to $2,000 to $2,500 luncheon for the teachers. And I went, well, we're here for the students. And so Bill Murphy gave me a list of things he's done. Student of the Year, give gift certificates, etc., for students in need. We have carts there at the school that I don't know if people know about at the school, that we can put supplies in, brushes, school supplies, socks, things that children may need. They don't have to go beg for someone. They just go and get it out of the cart. And these are things we've been doing, as well as recognizing students that have done well during the year. And we're following this back up. And those of us, I've sent emails this morning, that's why I'm running a little late, because they were calling, talking about a big lunch for the teachers. And I said, well, we wouldn't mind like a certificate or a gift card for $25 or $50 to the teacher of the year that they've already selected. But I haven't been able to get any date on when we're to give the dictionaries or when they're having the student. So when I know, I'll let y'all know, and we can, whoever can come, it's usually during the school time in an afternoon, to acknowledge the 6th graders that are finishing and 3rd graders to help with dictionaries. And we are impacting their lives, and just thank here, Rotary, and the community for helping to support our children to move forward.
Thank you, Betty. Anybody else for announcements? Hearing none. Do we have any happy dollars today? Is anybody happy and wants to give some money to this club?
I'm happy. Oh, that's, I'm sorry.
We'll let Bill go first.
You know, he's gonna up.
So go big then.
Yeah, right? I was really happy. One of those days I'm happy again and I don't know why, to the tune of $10. But now I'm not so happy that your Paul's going to have surgery. So Paul, I for one, and I'm sure the whole Rotary Club will have you in our thoughts. Those who pray, will pray for you and wish you a lot of luck to the tune of $10.
Good.
Hey, Bill, I've got some happy dollars
No, I
today.
haven't been here in a while. I'm not sure why, to be honest. I'm happy to be here. Among the things on the glove run, I have run that several years, but recently I was told I had a slight bulge in my lowest disc and I shouldn't run anymore. And it took me about 2 seconds to cry about that and go. I never got up and once in my life and said I want to run. Never have. So I am walking it. Sealand's gonna run it, so we'll be there. I just want to make sure everybody's aware. Now that Paul told me that. I don't know how you're gonna do there. Paul's gonna be out of commission for June. I'm gonna be in France from late May to early July. So I'm gonna miss the entire crab cake extravaganza. So anybody that wants me to pass my customers on to you, please let me know. We'll figure it out. Talk to Katie about this a little bit the other day. So I don't need to know today, but I'll be happy to correspond with you before I leave. But I will be gone from late May to early July. France.
Where?
I'm going to Calais, Paris, and London, Belgium, like that. So I'm not gonna W2, I got my bill today and I realized I've been way too happy and fast. I'm gonna say $25. That's enough to make you feel bad? Okay, $25.
Anyone else happy today?
I do.
You're happy? I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm $10 happy because my son is coming back from Kuwait and for the first time to Cape Charles in 10 years. So on May the 4th.
Very nice. We're going to do a club meeting.
Yeah, we'll see.
Happy.
$10. Anyone else? Hearing none. Let's go ahead and do our Queen of Hearts drawing. So who might have the high card today? It's not me. Anybody with an ace? I got ace of hearts over here. Anybody gonna beat the ace of hearts? Hearing none. Grant is our big winner of the day.
Hey, Graham.
Hey, Tara.
Yeah.
Not the winner, so we continue with the winner.
Yes, please.
Paul, what is his takeaway for the day?
$8.
$8, Grant. Very good.
Alright.
And with that said, I will. With that said, I'm actually going to turn things over to our program of the day. We are so fortunate to have one of our members. Rick Hubbard is going to be talking to us about his passion. For those who don't know, Rick is a huge history enthusiast, and he's going to share his love of all things history, specifically for the postcards within Cape Charles. Floor is yours, buddy.
Thank you, thank you. What you're gonna find, I'm a collector, I'm not a scholar. Collector, not a scholar. And I'm gonna start a couple things around here real quick before I sit down. One is on the Hotel Virginia, which is right across the street from the post office. It's on the corner, right, the corner. Number two is called Cape Line. It's Brown Root's original propaganda piece of paper literature. And that was probably in 89 or 90. 1989 or 1990. And I'm not out of the here we go now. what I'm trying to do is run through a bunch of postcards and just give you some ideas of what Cape Charles look like. What I wasn't aware of, or kind of forgotten about, is a lot of them go back, a lot of them are 100 years old now, which is kind of surprising to me. Where Cape Charles was a big time small town with a lot going on for years and years before Bay Creek came in got going. And when Bay Creek initially came in, it was kind of slow for a while. This was a map of the Hollywood Farm, everything else, and the original town, Cape Charles towns up in the northern corner. This is an original map from the state library. And what it has to is coming from the Maryland line all the way down to Cape Charles. And on that map, the original map, actually, it showed all the side of the road. It was done, I think, in 1856 by William Mahoney, who was a state engineer. Reading from Cape Charles, advertising camp, postcards. Well, I don't know how many of these are floating around. I haven't seen a whole lot of them, but I've never seen other things just like that. It's one postcard, which is probably almost 18 inches long, one side to the other. With 8 different pictures in it. It's kind of neat. Cape Charles Green Shrine. You see that? This is what's called the Times Building. The post office per se is directly across the street to your left, and on that corner, Times Building is now a vacant lot, but that had the custody post in there, had the newspaper and everything else in there.
Is that 1907 or 2000?
That would be 1907.
Is that where the hotel?
The hotel is on a diagonal across from you,
Okay.
away from the old Cape Charles. Great tunnel picture. This is definitely before the second span and anything else. That's looking down, as it was still kind of finishing up the construction. This is Cape Charles. Unfortunately, I have not figured out exactly where it is in Cape Charles, but it's an aerial view, which is not a lot of those floating around that great of time. And that's going to be one of those 1900-ish postcards. This is Monroe looking towards the beach on the eastern side, I guess, of the park. Bay. I think actually right there is Seagate, I believe.
So this is after the cottage edition.
Yeah, oh yeah. Kind of, well, some of them were full shorter after. I think that was right around 1920. This is an aerial. You see the harbor was used. This was industrial harbor here. This was where the ferries came in over here on this side. Talk about that a little bit. I didn't do it. Okay. One of the things too, we'll see another picture of it right here is a clay tennis court directly across from the bank. And that's what I'm afraid of. I'm not smart enough to tell you why or how.
That's cool. Hold the person.
We're doing something on the. Anybody that's good on computers, jump up real quick.
Keep moving it to the left until it pops up.
Keep talking. I'll find you. Yeah, no, you keep talking, buddy.
Okay. One of the things you'll see, it's kind of interesting to me on postcard. Yeah, no place we can go all the way back.
I will. Keep going.
Cape Charles, indeed, was a big time small town. What it amounts to is it hosted the Miss Virginia, the State Volunteer Firemen's Association. The Memorial Library was dedicated in 1937. Harry Flood Bird came in and did the dedication speech for that. And it drew over 7,000 people in the town that day for this dedication.
Yeah.
That's what, okay.
Oh.
That's on Taz Randolph. And if you go to your right there, you're right into the park. The sand on the road is not a new problem, as you can see in this postcard. What trains did keep going? The total was really busy at the time because of the areas all the time. There are numerous. On the side streets.
Make it hold that close to your mouth.
Okay, there. You can see how Bay Creek kind of picked up on the idea of those front porches on everything. And there's lots and lots of front porches here on the right hand wall. Go back one. Well, it's not just me. What I asked is on the right hand side, the brick building where it got the crossing color. My understanding is that was a Catholic church for a number, not excuse me, I apologize. That was a Catholic school for a number of years.
That's on the south side of Mason Avenue.
That was Bulwark's house.
Right.
That was school.
Oh, yeah. Okay, gotcha.
Steve Getty's house on the beach.
Stephen Gedney, you remember it.
If I'm not mistaken, that house supposedly went for $75,000 in the late '80s. This is some more of the Bayfront Avenue. Housing or whatever. Short-term housing.
Ocean Highway, I like the name of that.
That's still right there in Church, that's where Amy's was, barbershop, hairstylist, and everything else.
Oh, that's over the charity.
Then the Exxon Court, whatever, and that's called tiny homes right there now.
You giving a picture of that to, Eric Hawkins?
No,
I have that.
I don't know. This was across the street from the hotel, from the post office. This was the Hotel Virginia, or Chesapeake, excuse me. This is the Northampton Hotel, and they had that other house right at the bottom also as an annex. Post office, which is kind of interesting to me. I didn't realize until recently, I was doing a little bit of checking into things. Around the top where you've got the windows all the way up in the top floor, there were commercial businesses up there that they had offices. Strawberry Street, hotel there.
Hey, Rick, our building was the last stop for the post office. It wasn't from the moved to where it is now.
Okay,
Side, the left-hand side of our building was the post office.
all right, I don't know that I knew that. Thank you, sir. The Northampton Memorial Library was on the church, what looks like a church, on the left-hand side, that's when we're.
Is that a Presbyterian church?
Right, but again, that's the Episcopal church there. There was initial picture of it shown with the wooden sides. And it came in brick veneer at a later date. Catholic church. And another picture a few years later of the Catholic church. The Christian school. Another one of your churches. Cape Charles had a lot of churches in it. That was a high school, which was actually the combined school. Okay. Once they started kindergarten, it started from kindergarten all the way through high school. This was Front Street, Mason Avenue. Another Mason Avenue. This is your old fire bell, which was not far from the bottom of what we call the hump, where the bridge goes over the hotel, the railroad tracks. There was a railroad baseball field on the other side of the hump, or whatever. Jason probably knows some information on that or whatever. Parents.
I played Little League there. My father played Little League there. Yeah.
So you can see again, it was a busy town. You know, this was pre-automobile basically.
And they still had a parking problem there.
Not brand new. The second building you can see looking on there from your right to your left, where it's pretty well white. They had one time, I think that was a bank at one time, had some columns on it. It's been modified a little bit right here in this picture. It had a horse watering trough in front of it also.
Is that the former Mason and Strawberry?
Yes. This was Nation's Bank here on this end, which is the library now. Commercial, everything. Commercial. The jewelry store is right there on the right-hand side, right hand. And Donnie Brady's bait and tackle just passed out on the right. There's what I was talking about, the horse trough. Drinking fountain was on the left-hand side there.
Rick is a child.
Yeah, right. Here's from the top of the bridge right there on the hump, looking down on the railroad yards. The harbor again. You can see the big building that was on the left right there. That was the railroad office. That was a pretty substantial office. Tennis courts. Right there on Mason Avenue. That's probably a bit where the doctor's office is, just a bit. Well, we're looking across the railroad yards. Another aerial. I think that's actually, you had commercial freight barges that went across back and forth with railroad cars on them. You carry about 28 cars on with them. If I'm not mistaken, right there on the left-hand side was the ice plant, Edgerton's ice plant. This is another one big yard right there for the passengers and car ferry. Date 1915 on this. What's interesting too, if you read it, should have taken position in Cape Charles. You don't know what a big time you are missing. Here was a railroad yard or whatever. You had a round table for the engines and everything else to keep them going in the right direction if they could do that. Another railroad. Advertising. Mid-Hayden, still a problem then, still a problem now potentially. We're not even talking. Fishing on the pier. What's interesting here is everybody's got coat and tie on basically. So the next one, not coat and tie.
Fish on the biggest fish.
Strawberry stand on the way into Cape Charles. Potatoes. Potatoes in the. This is a jetty. The jetty also, what amounts to, from my understanding, is if you had your own private car and you had the right money, you could take it and spot it out on the jetty overnight. So when you woke up, you just looked at it for 360 degrees for all practical purposes. Some of the times of arrival and departure and everything else. There's one of the barges for rail cars. Looking into town again. I think that's the right short picture in the evening in town. Flood field, supposedly I've heard different uses on that in Jason. You know, something better. What I've been told is if you want to get into a serious disagreement, you walk across the flood field and have your fight on the other side so the police locally didn't have to get involved in it.
I don't think I know that. Let's see.
Yeah, I can't say much on that one.
One of the newer ferries coming into town.
Get the mic down.
Well, it's one of the newer ferries coming into town. Here's your car bar, your freight car barge leaving Cape Charles and going across the bay. Kings Creek. Just a neat kind of postcard. I don't know if I've ever seen another one of those. It doesn't mean there's not bunches of them here and there. This was a diving hole right there on the left-hand side of the picture, looking back into the beach. And I have heard supposedly one 4th of July that there were 3 drownings there. Unfortunately for whatever reason. And they had dredged a hole right there when they did the Sea Cottage addition, where you had enough depth so you could legitimately dive into the water. Truth in advertising, seeing And those type of postcards were not uncommon. Basically, the salesman would come in the shop and you see a picture you like, okay, seen year, such and such, seen year, such and such. In Cape Charles, so in Cape Charles.
Go ahead. You keep talking.
Custis Tube, another one Custis Tube down Arlington, whatever. This is the Smith Island Lighthouse on Smith Island. Now, this is not the lighthouse in Cape Charles, the town per se. There's another scene near Cape Charles.
Beautiful. Holy hill.
Cherry Stone Lodge. What I believe is this is if you go over the hump and you go past the school that they're redoing right now, and you go down the road, this is in front of the Bay Creek. Bay Creek is gonna be on the right-hand side there. Down the street was the Holiday Inn there, where they've got the temporary housing. This is Turns. where the ferry barge was. Another picture of Turns, Rittenhouse, Bobby Rittenhouse's place. The America House,
That's it.
that's it.
Any questions?
Not a question, but, comment. I began working in Salisbury, taking care of the Penn Central Railroad radios from Clayton, Delaware, down to Cape Charles, and then across, the bay of Norfolk. And, at that time it was the Penn Central Railroad, but one thing I'm not sure people realize, before the Bay Bridge was built, there were passenger trains that came down from New York City and down through the eastern shore and across the bay on those ferry boats. And that actually operated, the train master in Delmar used to tell me a lot of, the history of down here. That those trains, passenger trains actually operated right up until 1966. When it was the Pennsylvania Railroad, and that was before Amtrak. And there were 3 trains south and 3 trains north every day between New York City and Cape Charles. So it went all the way up to 1966.
The bridge tunnel opened on April 1564.
Okay, and it must they must have run even after.
And what enough to it too, what brought during World War II, because everybody was shifting out of Norfolk, the northeast corridor came right down through the Cape Charles, across the bay here. You know, there was just millions and millions of guys, predominantly guys, who went to Europe from Cape Charles, northeast corridor, coming from Connecticut, New York, Pennsylvania, to New Jersey, all that type of thing came down 13, basically, from the railroad.
Yeah.
Across at Cape Charles, across the border, where it was in Norfolk, down the boat, and to Europe, for the war.
My grandparents, got on the train in Trenton and went to Virginia Beach for the honeymoon.
Any other questions for Rick? For those who are newer members, if you've never been to the museum, the Cape Charles Museum, they have not as many of your pictures, but they have a lot of course, the history of the railroad, history of our steamers that came into Cape Charles as well. If you've never gone up to the county building, they have some of these photos up there on the wall, a little bit of history about the transit into the region as well. So I would encourage you to go visit those places also. Anyone else? Otherwise, thank you so much, Rick. This is so great. You really are. I know we're running late, so let's go ahead and let's stand and say the things we think, say, and do as Rotarians. Number 1. 3. We'll build. 4. 5.
We have fun.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So we're canceled for lunch next Tuesday. We got pizza for dinner on Tuesday night with some beverages. So come on and let Joe know you're coming. Thank you.